Well, if you want to make the playoffs out west, you cannot have a long slide. The Spurs had issues early in the season. The Clippers are in a bit of a lull now. Both of those teams fighting, hold on to their spots in the standings. Welcome to Game Time. Chris Miles here with Sekou Smith, Mike Fratello. Great to be here with you this MLK weekend. The Clippers were in first place in the Western Conference standings on December 4th. They entered Sunday in 8th place. It's hard to maintain out west. Clippers look to try to stop their 5-game losing streak in San Antonio against the Spurs team with the second-best home record out west. DeMar DeRozan back after missing Friday night's game at Minnesota, just 4 of 16 from the field, 8 points. On the other end, Tobias Harris leading the way.
Tobias Harris was simply sensational. This is a guy who carried this team on his back, winds up making open shots, and he did much more than that. He wound up defensively doing a really good job, helping them come up with loose balls, helping them come up with steals, interceptions, which got them easy buckets.
Patrick Beverley also with 18 points for the Clippers. They're ahead by 10 when LaMarcus Aldridge. That L.A. doesn't mean he's playing for the L.A. Clippers. It means he's LaMarcus Aldridge, the man working inside for the Spurs, Sekou.
Yeah, and when he plays big, the Spurs have opportunities they don't otherwise have. It's just a fact. He and DeMar DeRozan both masters of the mid-range, and when he's got it cooking, you got to watch out.
30 points, 14 rebounds for LaMarcus Aldridge. Clippers building on that lead in the third quarter. Is Marco Bellinelli hitting a long two for the Spurs, cutting that deficit down to 8.
One of those keys, the three-point shooter, Bellinelli.
And Rudy Gay, 19 points, 8 rebounds, makes it a 5-point game. Into the fourth, it's Tobias Harris. Came into this game struggling a bit over his last couple. 17 points in his averaging 17 points over his last 3 games. Scored 27 in this one, and a career-high 9 assists. Closing this one out for the Los Angeles Clippers, who snapped their season-long 5-game losing streak, the 103-95 victory. When you put up stats like that for Tobias Harris, he's the one doing the interview after the game. So Tobias Harris just 1 rebound, 1 assist away from triple-double. Also 3 steals. He was incredible for the Clippers.
When you look at some of the stuff that he did outside of just making shots, you realize that this was a total contribution for him. Watch the steal, and now watch decision-making time. Pass it, I'm going to take on all 3 of those dark jerseys and convert. Clippers come up with a rebound, get it to you-know-who, Tobias. Does this look familiar right now? 3 more black jerseys back there, but once again, he takes it right to the rack. Now they run a little play where they come back at the end and screen down on him, get him behind the 3-point line. He knocks that one down. And to show that you want to stay on top of him, they'll throw it over your head, get inside, muscle it up, and 1. Harris giving you a little bit of everything.
And Tobias, he gets a lot of the acclaim and well-deserved for the Clippers, but Danilo Gallinari now out for them. Who else is stepping up in really providing a spark?
Well, guys, I think it's been a group effort all season long for these Clippers, different guys at different times. But it's hard to ignore the contributions Avery Bradley makes to this team. Such a subtle, fantastic fit on this team from a defensive standpoint, Coach. Undersized, you would say, against a guy like DeMar DeRozan, but he's such a pest. And at his size, with his athleticism and timing, he gives them a guy who can get underneath a bigger 2-guard like DeMar DeRozan. The other part about it is don't sleep on Avery Bradley's ability to knock down shots and be a potent player on the offensive end. He did that in Boston, did it on a regular basis in Boston, became a very important part of what they were doing. Now he's doing the exact same things for the Los Angeles Clippers.
I think Doc realized the importance of this game after losing 5 straight. When you look at the starters, 3 of the 5 played in the 40-minute mark, 41, 43, 45, in that area. That's a lot of minutes right nowadays with the way teams are playing.
And we came into this show talking about the Clippers and how that 5-game losing streak has cost them in the standings. Now it's the Spurs who have lost 3 of their last 5. DeMar DeRozan in that stretch not looking as great as he looked early in the season, and you see his shooting really an issue for him right now. Should the Spurs be concerned with the way that DeMar DeRozan's playing, especially sitting out a game with a sore ankle?
It's a long season, and you have to factor in there's an adjustment period that any player would go through, Coach. Being inserted into a different system after all these years, having to learn all of the nuance of that system. And also, teams are getting a chance to see him maybe for the second time around now in a Spurs uniform. so they can now attack him differently than they were earlier in the year.
How about the ankle, too? Think about DeRozan's shots. So many of those where he's pushing off on one leg to get that shot off. That could be part of the reason.
Well, Lonzo Ball also suffered a recent ankle sprain, grade 3 against the Houston Rockets last night, and will miss the next 4 to 6 weeks. The Lakers point guard has started 45 games this year, averaging just under 10 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. Victor Oladipo got his first All-NBA nod at the end of last season. His Pacers are holding strong in the East. We'll hear from him next on Game Time. All-Star game coming up. Let's take a look at fan voting so far. Oh, look out west. Derrick Rose, Luka Doncic leading the fan votes over recent MVPs, James Harden and Kevin Durant. In the East, Dwayne Wade might be the biggest surprise. He's currently second amongst guards. The 37-year-old, of course, is a fan favorite and is retiring at the end of the season. Recently, some current players told us who their all-time starting 5 would be.
You want to start a fun debate?
The starting lineup.
All-time starting 5.
Oh, all right.
It's tough. It's super tough. There's too many to choose from.
Well, that's an argument you can get from east to west.
So Nixon unloaded green swing left. The right-hand skyhook of 12 is good.
He can't do a thing. Bird, turnaround, hit.
I think that's what the fans came to see.
MJ.
I don't think I can pick 5 to do it justice.
And you gotta go by position.
Magic at the 1.
I'm going with Magic.
Magic at the 1.
Magic Johnson. Magic for sure.
Magic Johnson.
Did he make a miraculous shot? Yes. Has he ever done it before? You bet he has.
My 1 of the Steve Nash would be my 1.
Kyrie Irving at the 1.
Jordan at the 2.
Michael Jordan.
MJ.
Mike.
Michael Jordan be a 2. Gotta go with MJ.
Jordan to the circle, puts the shot in the air. Go! The game's over.
I go Kobe at the 3.
Kobe Bryant. I'd have to go with Kobe. I would say Kobe.
I'm probably go with Kobe on the other wing.
I just see. Run out by Kobe Bryant.
I got LeBron at the 3.
LeBron James. LeBron James.
At the 3, I'll probably say LeBron.
LeBron at the 4.
LeBron at the 4.
I gotta put the big fundamental in there, Tim Duncan. Probably Tim at the 4.
Timmy D at the 4.
Birdman took a shot. Duncan throws it down.
I'm going Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley. I'll probably go with my boy KD at the 4.
Let's say Malone. Come on.
Dirk at the 4. Dirk.
Hakeem Olajuwon at the 4.
At the 5, I'd say Wilt.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Hakeem.
5 would have to be Shaq.
Gotta go with the big fella, right?
The run out to Shaq.
I got Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaq.
Shaq at the 5.
And the debate will continue.
That's a list I gotta really think about. I can say starting 6.
The starting 6 sounds like a
that.
really interesting idea because all-time starting 5 is different than the top 5 discussion, right? Because you're factoring position and fit and just guys you want to pick. So Sekou will allow you to go first.
Well, I agree with a lot of those guys. I don't think you can start a team in this league or in this game without Magic Johnson at point guard. To me, that's just a no-brainer. Michael Jordan, the GOAT, as my 2 guard. Or if we're going to play positionless, why don't you give me KD and LeBron at the forward spots and then give me the guy who I think cradle to the grave, coach, the greatest player in the history of the game, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, holding down the middle.
Well, I like a lot of the people on your team.
I would hope so.
I think they probably could have a decent game against our team. Okay, because...
Decent.
So who you got to beat his team then?
Well, let me explain something to you. Everybody's thinking about small ball and shooting threes. I'm going the other direction. I'm going to beat everybody up and then never get an offensive rebound. And if we miss a shot, We're getting all kinds of offensive rebounds. But I want you to see my team, which is a special group of guys.
Wow.
Okay, you see my group out there? You got Shaq, you got Chamberlain, you got Bill Russell, you have Kareem, and I borrowed Tim from the power forwards to bring the ball down the floor. We're playing 2-3 zone. We're switching everything. If you decide you're going to foul us, put us on the foul line, well, we might be a little shaky at the foul line with that group, but you're going to have to foul us so many times, your players will be left in the game to play against us. So watch out for my team.
Coach, we're not playing in the backyard now. We actually got to play a real game with referees.
Come out and play against us. Show up. My guys will be there. Show up.
That is incredible because Sekou, I kind of anticipated that. So you're playing Shaq at the 5, right? I'm hoping.
Shaq can play wherever he wants, wherever he wants to be.
Kareem at the 4, Wilt at the 3. Timmy at the
Tim's at
Bill Russell's running the point?
Timmy's my point guard. He can handle a little bit. Well, we'll just pass it up. We'll just throw lob passes up the floor.
That's truly positionless basketball right there, Chris. That is positionless basketball at its finest right there.
That is a phenomenal game.
And I didn't tell you my first 2 subs, by the way, okay? Akeem Olajuwon, and then Moses Malone behind him. Those are the other 2 coming off, just to let you know.
I mean, you could at least have a shooter like Dirk Nowitzki.
I got Steph coming off my bench as my 6th man, so we're going to get some shooting on the floor. As soon as we run these big boys, tired, get them tongues out.
Look, there's Jordan over one of your big
lights
fellas.
out.
Okay.
You guys are in trouble.
No debate.
Jordan to shoot over another big
right
fella.
there with me.
We get 4 shots every time we miss at the basket. Remember that.
So, yeah, no point guard love for me.
I'm just going big.
Wait, Magic's a tall point guard.
I'm going big. I got my
going
guys.
big. I'm going home, and when we get our hands on them, they're going to be going home. Simple as that.
Sekou's thinking his team's going to win. That'll be a tough one. I think you'll have the wins in the post. You'll have the wins in the perimeter. There are 11 NBA games on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Start your day with us here on NBA TV. Knicks and Thunder take the court at 12:30, and it's a triple header on TNT, concluding with the Warriors and the Lakers. Toronto continues to lead the NBA in wins and have now won 8 of their last 10. Doug Smith has been covering these Raptors since the inception of the franchise. He joins us now. Hey, Pascal Siakam is the new exciting toy that they have there as far as his development. Hit the game winner against the Phoenix Suns. Tell us about how that built his confidence even more and the team having confidence in him.
I think, Chris, that's the point, is that now they have another option, they think, at the end of games, and it boost the players' confidence in Pascal to say, hey, we're going to give you the ball, go make something happen. And he did. And it was the first time, I bet you it's the first time in his career at any level where they called a dribble play for him at the buzzer of a tie game. So the fact that he did it, I think, boosts his confidence. But I also think it gives guys like Kawhi Leonard, Kyle Lowry, Danny Green, another thought process at the end of close games that we got another guy who can do something for us.
Hey, Doug, hi, this is Booz. How you doing?
Hey, Booz. Not bad, thanks.
I wanted to ask you, Toronto's been a terrific team all season long. Who do you think is their best competition to get to the NBA Finals, whether it's Philadelphia, Boston, Milwaukee? Who do you see being their toughest competition?
I still think Boston. I know they're scuffling a little bit right now, but they've been there before. Milwaukee the second place, well, by percentage points leading the Eastern Conference and are very, very good. But Boston is that sort of time-tested group. Conference Finals last year without Kyrie and Gordon Hayward. Mm-hmm. They got them back. They just played, they always play Toronto great games. They had a great game up in Boston on Wednesday night. I think if you're looking at a matchup that the Raptors would probably not like to have, Boston as a proven winner with a bunch of veterans would probably be it.
Doug, I'm going to be a fan for a second like I live in Toronto. So my question for you is to use the word the process. How do you think the process is going making Kawhi Leonard happy? How does Masai Ujiri, from the front office down to the fan base, making Kawhi feel like this should be his new home for the rest of his career?
I think what the organization's doing is really simple. They're leaving him alone. Kawhi, here's the key to the gym. Come and shoot. Do whatever you want to do. The city's nice. Whatever you need, let us know. We'll take care of it. But there's no pressure. There's no all-out full-court press trying to kiss up to him every day. They're letting the team's success and the fact that here he's the guy and he can go about his business not anonymously but relatively anonymously. And frankly, if you want to win for the next 3 or 4 years, I think the Eastern Conference and Toronto is where you might want to be. I know the Clippers are there, and I get that the Lakers might have some draw, but are they any closer to playing for a championship than Toronto is in the East? I don't think so.
Kawhi Leonard going to sit out tonight. We know he's rested the second night of back-to-backs all season, but they last played on Thursday night, so why is he sitting this one out?
We asked Nick Nurse that just an hour ago, Chris, before the game. He said just the medical people decided that tonight's another good night to rest. And, you know, he did take off Thursday night after he played a lot of minutes in Boston on Wednesday. He had played the most minutes of the season in Washington in a double overtime game on Sunday. I think the cumulative effect is, okay, you know what, if we got to give up a game in January so we got him fresh in April, May, and June, that's okay. This is going to give him a break from he played Wednesday night and then he'll play again until Tuesday, almost a week off. And I think that sort of cumulative rest on the leg is going to be good for him in the long run. And, frankly, they operate pretty well without him.
Yeah, and I was going to take you right there, Doug, where I think it's a two-part thing where, one, let's keep our good relationship going and let him have an extra day off. But we've also learned that our second unit and other guys actually have played great basketball this season with him off the floor.
Oh, they've come a long way. Since early in the year, last year's second unit was outstanding. But it changed dramatically this year with Jonas Valanciunas added to it, OG Anunoby added to it when they moved, when they got Danny Green as the starter and Kawhi Leonard as a starter there. So it's taken a little while, but now that they've had a little bit of time to mesh, the team sees it. Their record without Kawhi, I think, is something like 8-2. It's really, really good. And their other guys are being able to step up and be asked to do things that maybe will pay off later on in the year.
Doug Smith, Toronto Star, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Good stuff, Doug.
My pleasure.
Thanks,
anytime.
Doug.
All right, guys.
He mentioned something towards the end there, and it's Jonas Valanciunas, right? And that's a guy where he was incredible early in the year, and they're bringing him off the bench now. He's been a starter for them for years, and he's thrived in that role just as good as he was as a starter coming off the bench while he's been out. Then you look at what Kyle Lowry, who missed 10 games and is shooting just 32% from the floor since he's returned, yet they still have won 6 of their last 7. I mean, this is a team that it just seems like adversity, what is that?
Yeah, because once again, you bring in a star quality guy like Kawhi, and then you continue to build within. So Siakam's gotten better, DeLon Wright's gotten better, Van Fleet's gotten better, OG's gotten better. So, and CJ Miles hasn't even shot the ball well yet. So that's another guy that we know has, playoff pedigree that can shoot the basketball and help stretch the floor. And then you got a guy like Greg Monroe, nobody wanted, and now he stepped in when Valanciunas got hurt with the hand injury. So it lets you know they're very, very deep. But I think Nick Nurse has done an excellent job letting each guy know when someone goes down, here's your opportunity. Go out there and play. Don't play like you're playing to lose.
Yeah, they've been one of the deepest teams for the last couple seasons. And they continue to prove that now, especially you heard what Doug said. They're 8-2 even without Kawhi being out there, which is very impressive and hard to do. It's hard to have that kind of success when your star player's out.
All right, Kyle Lowry started the season hot from the field, leading the NBA in assists, and his shot has really been the thing that struggled. What are you seeing with his shooting? Is it his form? Is it his legs? What do you see as being a part of his struggle?
I think maybe some with the legs, but I thought Booz, because we know he's one of those guys, with his conditioning, I thought he came back in the season in pretty good condition.
Yeah.
I think it's a stretch in the season that things are not going well from a shooting standpoint, but his leadership and sharing the basketball, I think is still pretty.
Yeah, Kyle's he's a pro. He's a great pro. He does a great job of getting guys involved. He's still a pit bull out there. They still trust him, obviously. He's a very good defender, good playmaker, doesn't take any plays off. So whether we've seen this before in the playoffs too, where he's lost a little confidence in his jump shot, but he still played hard and played well. And obviously they've had great success despite that. So as the season goes along, CJ starts shooting better, he starts shooting better. Team's going to be very good.
Certainly, we're seeing the evolution of the Toronto Raptors right in front of us as they're leading the NBA in wins. And there's an evolution of facial hair here. See, 0 here, a little bit there. Boo's got the full beard, but then there is the bearded one. James Harden kind of dialed back on the dress code tonight, right? Yeah.
With the jacket on.
And that to me is courtside certified. I think when they take it too far, I don't know.
Can he pull his pants down a little bit?
Ankle biters.
You got a man capri pants.